up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. So today I thought it would just be fun to film a video about my manga collection, and I don't really have that big of a collection, but I thought that I would share my little collection with you guys and give you some recommendations of some of my favorite reads. Some of them I'm still reading, but I just thought I would give you my recommendations, so let's jump into it. I only have about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're right here next to me, so that's what I'm looking at. I only have 8 books, and I think 4 are the same series, I guess. It's my favorite series. Like, I could talk about the show and like book and series like so much. It's like annoying how obsessed I am with it. Girl, let me get composed. But yeah, that's the first one I'm going to be talking about. So as I said, I have 4 different books, but one of them has 3 volumes and the other ones are just like 1 volume. So my favorite manga and anime in general is called d.gray-man. I don't know if you can see this. I'll insert videos and stuff of these books up close, but I love d.gray-man, and I feel like nobody talks about it anymore because it used to be popular like years ago. So the first season, I guess, or a couple of seasons ran from I think like 2006 to like 2008, around there, and then they made Hollow, which was like 13 more episodes continuing off of the previous series, except I think they left out some manga bits here and there, and then Hollow doesn't really follow the manga at all. I mean, it kind of does, but it's very rushed, but I don't care. I don't hate it. I'm okay with it. And I think Hollow came out in 2016, so obviously there was that huge gap between the first series and the second one, so I think a lot of fans lost interest, but I'm still here. I mean, I didn't start watching it in 2006. I think I started watching it in like 2012, I want to say. I don't know. I was in middle school when I got into anime, but this one I love. Like, more people need to talk about it. If you like d.gray-man, please let me know. We need to talk about it. I don't have volume 1 of this one though. I have volume 20. So here's volume 20. And then I also have volumes 22, 23, and 24. So this one's like a big boy one. Miss Lena Lee on the cover. We love it. Then we have volume 26. I love this cover. It is so cute. This one came out earlier this year. I think in like April or March, around then. I don't know. And then this one came out in July. This is volume 27, and I love this one. Road on the cover, Daddy Cross Marion on the back. Yeah, but I could just like talk so much about this show. I'll give a synopsis for those who like maybe haven't heard of it and you want to read it. I recommend it, girl. I mean, it's a long journey, and if you're gonna watch the anime, there's like 50 whole episodes of like it's kind of boring, it's kind of filler. But once you get past episode 50, it's like, okay, plot, like the plot gets going. And I actually liked Hollow. I know I said that already, but I feel like a lot of people didn't like it. And they also changed the art style in Hollow, because before it was like obviously an older anime, so it was like an older art style, and then they updated the art style, but I didn't hate it. Okay, it was more vibrant. I know they changed some of the characters' hair colors, like Alan, and well, they changed Alan's eye color and they changed Miranda's hair color, but you know, it was subtle. It was fine for me. But yeah, I also, when I first watched, I've also seen this anime like a lot. Like, oh, my cat's in here. I've seen this anime a lot. Like, I rewatched it multiple times. When I first watched it, I watched the English dub, which that's my mistake, being a little child, being like, I don't want to read subtitles. But like, I love an English sub over an English dub. I'm fine with both. It depends on the anime. Like Psyche K, you can watch that in English dub, but I wouldn't watch like Attack on Titan in English dub. I'd watch that in English sub, even though I did watch it in English dub. But if I were to rewatch it, okay, I'm not making any sense. Basically, subs is better to dubs in my opinion. I know a lot of people also feel that way, but I don't completely hate dubs because I watched Ouran High School in dub because I feel like you have to. I watched d.gray-man in dub, but then I also watched it in sub. Both are fine to me. The way I'm geeking out right now. Yeah, so I will just give you guys a synopsis of this show in case you want to watch it. So basically, there's a lot, but it's about this guy named Alan Walker. He is 14, I believe, and he has this thing called innocence embedded into his arm. So his hand is able to transform into an anti-akuma weapon, and akuma are like these demonic kind of creatures that this man named the Millennium Earl is able to create by visiting people who have just lost a loved one and they're like in mourning, and he's like, hey, I can bring your loved one back. All you have to do is say their name 3 times in this funky skeleton statue, and then their name will show up on their forehead, and then your loved one will come back. But it's a whole lie, because the loved one just turns into an akuma, and it's not a good fate. They're just like this weird demonic creature for the rest of their lives, and then they end up killing the person who turns them into an akuma. most of the time. So in this world, basically it's innocence versus dark matter, and the akuma have like dark matter in them or whatever. So there's these exorcist accommodators who have innocence inside of them who work at this place called the Black Order. This probably makes no sense. Oh my gosh, okay, sorry. I'm not good at explaining things. Just Google it. Google it after my explanation. So basically Alan is gonna join this place called the Black Order because he wants to become an exorcist and help fight the akuma. So that's pretty much what it's about. So much happens and there's so many good characters. I love Kanda. He's like the grouchy, mean, quiet type one, and you know we love those. I need to stop. Anyway, I'm so annoying. But yeah, Kanda's on this cover and we just love it. We love the dynamic between Alan and Kanda. I just have to say it. I have to say it. But I really do recommend this anime and manga. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, technically 6, or no, technically 7, because I have 3 and then, wait, what? 6. Technically I have 6 because I have these 3 and this one is like 3 in 1. So I have my 6 little d.gray-man volumes right here and I love it. It's good. I know you can just read manga for free online, but sometimes you want to support the artist, and I love Katsura Hoshino Senpai. She's a queen, she's an icon. She wrote d.gray-man and she's still writing it. She's been writing it, girl. We're waiting for the updates. Like, it takes her probably 5 months or something around there to release 1 volume, but we're waiting for you, girl. We're waiting. I recommend d.gray-man if you've never read it, if you've never watched it. I think it's on Hulu. Both Hollow and the first couple seasons are on Hulu, so I recommend that manga for you. Okay, now that my geeking is over with that one, I'm crazy about that stupid fictional world. Anyway, okay, the next manga that I have, I think this was actually the first or second, one of the first mangas I bought. Manga? We have Blue Exorcist. And I also watched the anime for this, but I know it wasn't true to the manga because I know they released the first 25 episodes for Blue Exorcist and they just like kind of sped through the whole series, I think, in those 25 episodes, and then they backpedaled and did the Blue Exorcist Kyoto Saga, which I haven't watched that yet. But yeah, I do have volume 1 for Blue Exorcist and I have read this and I've seen it, so yeah. I'm sure you probably know what this one's about. I mean, if you haven't heard of this one, basically it's about this guy named Rin Okumura, and he is unfortunately the son of Satan. He was a twin at birth and only he inherited Satan's powers, so he's got these like blue flames because blue flames are a sign of Satan. And so he is taken in by Father Fujimoto, who is a priest at this monastery. So he raises Rin and his brother, but he doesn't tell him that he's the son of Satan, obviously. Rin is a bit of like a delinquent. He gets into trouble a lot. People always tell him that he's a demon. He's like, what the hell, man, I'm not. But he is, though. So yeah, it's basically about him. I think he's probably like 15 or 16. They're always like high school age in these, and basically he finds out he's the son of Satan and he has to figure out how to live with that and how to conquer that. So I won't spoil anything, but there's a school is involved and lots of magic creatures like Mephistopheles and stuff like that. A Maimon. Yeah, this one's like kind of an iconic one. It's kind of a classic. I feel like if you watch a lot of anime, you've probably seen this one maybe, or you've heard of it at least. There's Blue Exorcist for you. Alright, so the next one, I think this was actually the first manga that I purchased, but I think I purchased this one the same time that I purchased Blue Exorcist. But we have a classic right here, Miss Sailor Moon. So this is volume 1 of Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. We love Sailor Moon. She's iconic. I'm sure you've all heard of her. The art style is that classic, like, really pretty, like, pretty boy style. I don't know, it's just a very iconic brand and like face. Like, everyone knows Miss Sailor Moon, come on now. And she's so cute. Here's the back. Yeah, I don't even need to explain Sailor Moon, but basically she's like a magical girl. Her name's Usagi and she's in high school, as they all are. And she's got this cat, this black cat. I think its name is Luna. But basically it's like a super cute book. I'm sure a lot of people have read this one. Sailor Moon, very cute, very fun, magical girls for the win. Alright, so the next one that we have, this one was one of my favorites for like a while. We have Tokyo Ghoul Re. So not Tokyo Ghoul. I kind of like Re better than Tokyo Ghoul. I'm sure most people have heard of this one, come on. Probably Tokyo Ghoul though over Tokyo Ghoul Re. And I do not recommend the anime. The anime for this is trash. Like, you have to read the manga. It is so much better. Trust me. And I love how you say Sasuke. Like, king. But for those who don't know, Tokyo Ghoul is the first part of this. This is like a spin-off, but it's like connected, so I don't really know what you would call it. It's just like, I guess it's like the sequel, but basically Tokyo Ghoul is about this guy named Kaneki Ken, and he is actually, I think, like 20. He's like college age, so my age, and he's kind of a shy, quiet king who likes to read books. He has this loud friend named Hide, and they like to hang out together. They eat hamburgers and, you know, all that fun stuff. And basically their city that they live in is being threatened by these creatures called ghouls, who take on the appearance of humans, and they're basically humans, but they have a kakujo. What is it? Bitch, what the? So hopefully I'm getting this right, but they have an organ called a kakuho in their bodies, which allows them to create a lot of RC cells, and then they are able to use those cells to create their kagane, which are like these large, like extra appendages in a way, but they're like sharp, and they take I think 4 different forms. So basically they use their kagune as weapons, and one of the types of kagune that you can get is an ukaku, which is kind of like a feathery kagune. There's a kokaku, which is kind of like a sword. I know Tsukiyama is a character that has one. It's kind of like wraps around his arm and he's like stab, stab, stab. And then there's also a rinkaku, which I think the main character Kaneki has a rinkaku, because there's this whole thing, which is I think from their back. The different names stems from what part of their body their kagune comes out of. So there's like the shoulder, the back, the lower back, like stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not like a Tokyo Ghoul expert. There's also baikaku, I don't know how to say it, but I think that one's more like a tail kagune. I'm not really an expert on the whole Tokyo Ghoul world. I used to be when I was like really obsessed with it, but now I like can't remember all the little things. But yeah, basically this main character Ken, Kaneki, he meets this woman, this beautiful woman at a coffee shop, and he's like, damn, I want to ask her out, but I'm shy though. And her name is Rize. But they do actually end up going out on a date, and something crazy happens, and it turns out Rize is a ghoul, and she tries to kill Kaneki, and chaos ensues. You'll just have to watch it. I'm sure most people have probably seen it, I don't know, but I don't want to spoil anything. Basically, things don't go well for Kaneki, and he ends up having Rize's ghoul organ transplanted into him. He's just a human at this point, but once he gets it transplanted into him, he becomes a half ghoul. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think the whole concept is really cool, like having these ghoul people versus the humans, and there's this whole group called the CCG, who are the countermeasures against the ghouls. And so basically, back to Tokyo Ghoul Re. Basically, this follows more of the CCG side of fighting the ghouls. So these are like the humans. So basically, the CCG use things called queenkei to fight the ghouls, which is basically kagune that they've extracted from dead ghouls that they've killed and then turned those into weapons. So it's kind of fucked up that they're fighting them with themselves, with their ghoul, like with different ghouls that have died. But yeah, I think they're called queenkei. But this book is, yeah, more about the CCG side, and Heisei Sasaki is like the leader of this group of the CCG called the Quinks. The Qs? What is the name? Oh my god, the Q squad? Called the Quinks squad, or like the Q squad I think they go by. But yeah, so basically that squad is a group of 5 kids. They're kind of like teenage age, who have gotten kagune implanted into them on purpose in order to serve as a half ghoul for the CCG, I believe. I'm probably getting all the wording wrong. I'll try and correct myself in text on the screen because I don't remember all the little words for everything, but you'll understand it when you read it. I just haven't read this in a while, but yeah. It's a pretty interesting concept. I recommend, and I think I like Tokyo Ghoul Re better than the original one, so take that into mind. But you should read Tokyo Ghoul before Re, because that'll make more sense. So yeah, Tokyo Ghoul Re is a good one. Alright, so the last manga that I have in my collection, this one I bought with my sister. It's a big boy. We got Tomie by Junji Ito. It's a very big book. As you can see, I haven't finished it yet. I'm like more than halfway through, but ooh, girl, Tomie is kind of an icon, kind of a legend. So if you don't know what Tomie is or what it's basically about this girl named Tomie, obviously, who is so beautiful that all these men will kill for her, and then they begin to love her so much that they will kill her. They have the urge to want to kill her. And she's kind of this weird, immortal kind of goddess, something crazy. She's like a demon, she's like a god, she's something. Where whenever she gets killed, she just comes back to life. She's able to release extensions of herself to create herself over and over, like doppelgangers of herself. So she'll like grow another head on her shoulder or something, and then that head will be like, get me off, get me off. And then they'll cut the head off, and then that head will grow another body. So then another tomie will exist. And there are a lot of tomies in this world, but she's kind of an icon. If you have seen the show, it's a Thai series on Netflix called The Girl from Nowhere. Nano and tomie are like the same exact concept pretty much. So if you've seen that, you'll probably like this. It'll help you understand this more. But I'll just read what the back says. I probably should have been doing that for all of these, but it says, murdered again and again, one girl always comes back for more. Tomie Kawakami is a femme fatale with long black hair and a beauty mark just under her left eye. She can seduce nearly any man and drive them to murder as well. Even though the victim is often tomie herself, while one lover seeks to keep her for himself, another grows terrified of the immortal succubus. Yeah, she's kind of like a succubus. But soon they realize that no matter how many times they kill her, the world will never be free of tomie. Which is true, this girl is everywhere. She's crazy, but we love her. I love Junji Ito. He does horror art, so this one's gonna be a little bit more disturbing than like Tokyo Ghoul. Like, of course there's like blood and like people dying in this, but like this is more like creepy, like ooh. And basically tomie manipulates everybody, and she's very creepy in a fun way. We love her. She's a queen. She's beautiful. So yeah, I recommend tomie if you're into girl boss who murders men and has men murder for her, drives people insane, and manipulates. Yay! So that is my whole manga collection. I know it's not a lot, but it's a pretty decent size, I guess, which is fine. So I'm going to tell you where I purchased everything also if you're curious. So this one was purchased at Barnes & Noble. I think it was like $35. This one was also purchased at Barnes & Noble, and it was $13. Sailor Moon, these were purchased together at, you guessed it, Barnes & Noble. This one was $11, and this one was $10. And then I think I purchased all of these at Barnes & Noble, to be honest. These were all purchased at Barnes & Noble. Oh, but this one was, I think, purchased on Amazon. But yeah. Barnes & Noble has manga if you want to go get some for yourself. And they have a pretty big selection. I know they have like Beastars if you want that. They have Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer. I know they had Legend of Zelda. I didn't even know there was a Legend of Zelda manga. But I'm also ordering a Soul Eater manga from this website called Right Stuff Anime, I believe. This isn't sponsored or anything, obviously, but we'll see when that arrives. I pre-ordered this Animal Crossing manga, so we'll see what that is. That is my collection currently. I'm expecting 2 more in the mail. So that'll make 10 books in total. Technically like 12 if you count the 3-in-1 as 3 separate ones. But yeah, that is my manga collection. Sorry I kind of like talked super fast and confusing. If you have any questions about like plots or whatever, or any more recommendations, I can help you out in the comments. Just leave a comment and we can talk about d.gray-man or Tokyo Ghoul or Sailor Moon, whatever you want. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye! I really hope this video made sense. Like, I feel like I sounded crazy.